All right. Deadman Stone Podcast with your host, Mr. Deadman, and Becky. SK is out
Hey.
tonight. I'm going to have a shot for him. I'm going to have a shot in thinking about him and what's going on. So I'll do that for him. Our guest tonight is, let's see here, I have on this postcard, Jonathan Mary had a little Lambert? What? Who's that? Is that right? What's going on over here?
That's 13-year-old me.
Oh.
I don't go by that anymore. I never went by that, but people would have their say.
Yeah. Well, I swear these postcards have a way of just I don't know. They find that one embarrassing name and they just they dig it up. They dig it up. It must be magical.
Likely story.
Very likely story. Like look this other postcard. It has my name on it, Jessica.
You know what the sad part is? My mother's name actually was Mary.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah, I really, driving that one home.
Funny.
Isn't it?
Wait, you think your mom could have sent this card in? It's because somehow this no? Oh, okay. All right. Somehow it got here. Hey, which, by the way...
It was not me.
It wasn't me. But I will say, I found this on the desk today. This. It's a wood carving with a D and a T on it. Actually, I found that in the mail. It was sent by what? Kevin? Who? Who carved it, Becky? Kevin Heath?
Kevin Heath.
Kevin Heath. This is pretty cool looking. That's the DT logo thing.
It has a D and it has a what on it?
A D and a T.
A D and a T.
For Deadman's Tome.
Deadman's Tome.
Yeah.
Or was it? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
It's pretty cool. Got to keep it on the desk, I guess. Yeah.
Cool.
It's cool. I like it. Definitely appreciate that. Pretty nifty. Oh, and a few shout-outs real fast before we get going. One, caption contest. We have actually 2 images we're going to show tonight. We'll go into that maybe around, mid-show. But 2 very embarrassing photos. Very embarrassing. And one of which might reveal that I could be a Biden girl. We'll find out. Yeah. A photo doesn't lie. Okay? I might be a Biden girl. Anyway. Let's see what else we got. Oh, the meat grinder.
Can I just say, though, first, these aren't really embarrassing. Like, you need to see
No,
my
they are
photos
not
in my breakdance outfit.
Oh.
No, that's embarrassing.
Oh, well, you should have seen the other ones. There's other photos. There'll be more in the future. Don't encourage me. Don't encourage me. I'm gonna. Oh, okay.
All you have to do is ask me. I'll get them. Don't worry.
Yeah. All right, and also
I'll ask the wife.
We'll also do the updates to the meat grinder contest towards the end of the show. I'll just announce who is in what place at the moment, the story, and then, yeah. So I think with that said, do we have any other announcements, Becky? Any ads or anything?
Nope.
Okay. Well, with that said, Jonathan Lambert, who are you and what do you do?
Oh, well, I would start with the fact that I'm a writer. Been writing since... I have an interesting thing. Like, when I went to college, I had a lot more testosterone back then. I was like, I'm going to be total badass and do the hardest thing. So I went and studied math and physics and totally rejected, all kinds of literature. And I didn't even want to go to those classes, right? And then somehow, many years afterwards, I can hardly remember math anymore, but now I seem to have gravitated to more of the writing kind of world. So I've always written stuff, and finally got serious maybe 2012, something so.
Okay.
And so started writing stories, getting them published everywhere. Sold a lot of them, which is big ego boost. And I thought, well, I started thinking hey, maybe this is something I can actually do.
Okay.
And actually started to collect them into a big, collection of stories. They're all weird. They're kind of horror comedy, and
Nothing wrong with that.
I got that one out, and then I actually decided, like, I'm tired of submitting stories to people, and even though most of them were accepted, with the rejection here and there, I thought, well, why am I submitting these stories to other people? I should just do it myself. So started with a co-editor and partner that I have, Laurie Titus. We started a Jolly Horror Press, because there really isn't a home. I mean, there's some, but there's not really a lot of markets for horror comedy. People like pure horror, and people like comedy. But when that stuff comes together, it's brilliant.
That's amazing, though.
In a good way.
Because there's definitely a market for it in film, right? Because horror and comedy kind of bleed together.
Only really lately, though, if you think about it. So you go back like 5, 6, 7 years, you have your horror and your comedy. And now you're starting to see things where they kind of blend together. And you have your one-liners, of course, in all these horror movies.
Yeah. And some could say maybe like movies like Leprechaun was kind of definitely like a comedy. Like, what's going on there? Or Gremlins. Is Gremlins? Gremlins is like a comedy, right? That's a comedy. That's not horror, but I mean, you could.
All I think of Gremlins is Phoebe Cates, man, my little high school crush. I remember her.
And then you have Child's Play. It's like, ooh. That's,
Yeah, you have that too.
It was scary in the beginning, but it kind of became like that's the one that definitely had the one-liners. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm expecting it. Come on, do you want to play? Andy, you want to play?
Right till the end.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. It's getting more prevalent, though. You have things like What We Do in the Shadows, and even like Get Out had a lot of comedy elements in it. So.
And then you have movies that have you ever seen? Was it Ducker and Tell versus? Is it Ducker?
Yes.
Del,
yes. I was like, at first, that was brilliant. I was like, oh no, not one of these things. Like, and I started watching. It was just totally brilliant. They were just a bunch of doofuses, and they kind of like got caught into this whole thing where people thought they were the killers, and they were hilarious.
Yeah.
Where it actually started was for me was. I remember this specifically. I think I was in like my junior year or sophomore year of college, and we had this, back then you had videotapes, And so we had this store that was one of these stores, like grocery, liquors, and video. I don't know how you combine those three types of things, but
grocery,
they did.
Liquors, and video. That's okay. Yeah. That's perfect. That's a perfect combination right there.
Is that kind of like drive-through liquor stores in Florida?
What else does a college kid need? I mean, that was like the perfect store.
What else does anyone?
We would go out there.
Yeah.
And I rented Evil Dead 2.
Oh yeah.
Remember that one?
Yes. Yeah, that's my favorite of the bunch. I actually like Evil Dead 2 more than Evil Dead 1.
Dead 1, yeah, well, Evil Dead 1 was like the exact same story. It's like they forgot Evil Dead 1 when they did Evil Dead 2. It was like a reboot, but it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. It's like kind of like a revision of Evil Dead 1, except with a more funny twist to it. Definitely, when you cut off your hand and put a chainsaw on it. I mean, come on. Go balls to the wall.
And then you put the hand in a wastebasket, cover the hand with a wastebasket with a book that's like Farewell to Arms. I mean, the whole thing was just hilarious. And I must have seen this movie now at least like 50 times.
Yeah.
It's just so funny, and it just like inspired me. Like, nothing makes me laugh more than like comedy injected into like some moment of creepy horror. It's just hilarious. So,
that's cool.
So I started doing that, and then started Jolly Horror Press. We're on our second anthology now. We released Don't Cry to Mama, which was stories about people, and it was interesting. A lot of people have stories about moms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that anthology, the Don't Cry to Mama, is about bad moms or something?
Well, it could be good moms, could be bad moms, but just there was some sort of terrifying issue in there,
Okay.
We have a lot of tales, like some moms are. There was one where they're like sirens, and there's one that where she's just a terror.
Just a terror.
An old bag that's kind of like on your ass all the time.
Okay. No, let me. But I was going to announce real fast that I will be taking shots during the stream. Of course, it's Friday night, and what the hell? Why not? I'll just go throw it out there. $5 donations equals shot. I'll go take one now for SK.
Well, you mean like a shot of alcohol?
Yeah,
yes, he does.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
What's your drink of choice? You can't just take a shot and not tell people what you're drinking.
I'm drinking. I'm so used to it now. Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark tonight.
Mm.
Yeah. So.
It's bourbon. Right?
No, the honey
whiskey.
Scotch.
Distilled and bottled.
No, I don't drink alcohol.
Just
I'm a beer and wine
straight
guy.
Bourbon whiskey. Anyway.
Yeah, but okay.
Is it the honey?
That's close.
No honey.
I almost got it.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. All right. So just putting that out there.
Just like one of those things where like college students and the cop comes and they all get to drink and then they start talking and then like by the end of it, like everybody's plastered.
Oh, that sounds like a story for the show, really. That'd be great. If the police were knocking on the door.
You never saw one of those? They do them like on our like our sports radio shows too. Like. Oh
man.
In DC, we have the sports junkies, and they'll start drinking for the show, and by the end of it, it's just like a blast.
All right, that's cool. I mean, we drink a lot on the show anyway. I mean, I might be a functional alcoholic. Who knows? But yeah, have fun with it. Okay, so let's.
Yeah, well, that's better than a non-functioning one, right?
Yeah, a lot better. So you've been writing for a while, but what made you want to get serious again? Like why?
Okay.
Like what made you want to get serious about writing?
What did you say?
Did you hear me? Did you hear me?
Why do I want to get serious about it?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, what made you want to get serious about writing?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Like, it's something. I've always been kind of even though I told you, like, when I studied math, I kind of rejected literature. I've always been a reader,
mm-hmm.
And it's just something about books that I love. I'm sad, even though I never buy anything when I go, like most of us, I probably Google the title and go back and purchase it for cheaper. There's a lot of people that are like that. And, I just started to try my hand at it. And, but the other thing is, and it's timely because we have a new Twilight Zone now. I always loved when I was a kid, the Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah.
And I love during Christmas when they play every episode back to back on one of those Turner Classic Networks or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Man,
I just really like the concept of nailing some kind of story in movie format. It would be 30 in TV format. It's 30 minutes,
mm-hmm.
but you're able to tell a story, creep people out, and have some weird twist and be done with it.
Yes. Yes.
And I tried to. I would my dream job would have been a Twilight Zone writer back in the 60s or 70s when that show was on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried to kind of mimic that with what I want to write something like that, I remember Talkie Tina. Do you remember that one?
That one?
The little doll. You pull the little cord on the doll, and she was like, "My name is Talkie Tina, and I want to kill you."
Yeah. What do you think of the? What do you think of the remake?
Dude throws it.
What do you think of the reboot?
Well, I watched the first 2 episodes so far, and I kind of love it. There's some kind of disconnect with me that I feel like it ought to be in black and white. I just don't know why.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to watch it in color because it just tells me it has the same feel.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele comes on and do 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 do. But I just wish. I hope they do. I really hope they do a black and white episode, just as a throwback during the season. But I watched the first 2 episodes. I thought they were really good.
Cool.
See that I need to catch. I really do. I'm excited just as a throwback.
I hope so. I'm a big Jordan Peele fan. I love him in Mad TV. I loved him in Get Out, what he did there.
Yeah.
I did go see Us. I loved Us. Well, actually, I liked Us.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not one of those. I like going to movies for escape, you know?
Yeah. Jordan Peele, man. Like, if you were to tell me that he was going to be in horror, be releasing some really good horror films and doing Twilight Zone, I would not believe it, especially back in the Mad TV days. I'd be like, what? No way. Yeah. But he's kicking ass. He's tearing it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only thing about Us was like did you see the movie Mother?
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah. So it's like, the movie's about something, but it's not what the movie's about while you're watching it, and you have to go back home and like Google the dang thing and Google like, what the F did I just watch? and you have to get somebody else who's smarter than you to explain what you were just watching, and that's my only complaint about Us. But he had all kinds of like subtext things in there, and
Mother was the
and
Jennifer
I don't want to go home and Google.
Yeah. He wants to go home and Google and research. Come on, I just want to enjoy a film. Okay.
So I'm not going to want to watch that.
About that.
So, by the way, Becky donated like $20. Does that count as 4 shots? It's $5 a shot, but okay, I'll take a few shots. Here we go. But what I do?
Take one at a time, please. Don't be yakking on us.
Jacking on you?
I haven't taken a shot since
yakking, not jacking.
I haven't taken a shot for like a long time. The last time I remember taking a shot, I was at the beach, walking around the boardwalk, and I had been drinking like beer all night long. And of course, like the more I drink beer, the friendlier I get. So I met these dudes, and I was with them, They're, hey, come on in. And we went to this bar, and the guy lined the shots up for everybody. He's like, I don't think I could take a shot.
Oh, you take a shot.
Do it, man.
You take a shot.
Wuss. Come on, take the shot, wuss. And I'm like,
what are you,
I had
chicken?
that moment of like the peer pressure, and like chicken. Well, chicken will come up in a second, so hold on. And so I was like, I'll take the shot. I took that shot and pounded it down, and right away I felt that. It's like, this is not going to stay in my stomach. So I started walking out of that bar, and I was like, I looked like a chicken walking out of that bar. Like, just holding back, and as soon as I got down off the boardwalk, it just all came out. And like, wow.
One shot.
Like, I told you guys I can't take a shot. I had like so many beers. But hey, that's life.
That's life. It is. And that's how it happens, though. I mean, you get drunk on all the beers, man. It's just, you have some liquor in there. That's usually not a good combination.
There's some rhyme about that, isn't it? Like, liquor before beer, never fear, but beer before liquor, never sicker.
Yeah, that's a rhyme. Yep.
Something like that. That's the rhyme in action. My little story there is that rhyme in action.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about some of your books real fast. Let's see. I'm looking at your your page here. So you have a few anthologies. You have an anthology of anatomic entries. Don't Cry to Mama, Between the Dark and Light. Where do you want to start? What do you want to start with?
Well, Betwixt the Dark and Light was my it has almost everything I've done up to the last like 2 years. So all those other stories you see on there, like you just mentioned, the anatomical entries, which was an anthology called Give, edited by Michelle Kilmer and P.J. Tranchel. So I submitted a story to them. That was about people that give body parts for donation for whatever reason, kidney, heart. I guess you don't give a heart until you. I guess you don't have a say if you give a heart, right? I mean, that's like a post,
I mean, some people live without a heart, so I could believe that.
I know some people that don't have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be some.
That one was.
I'm sorry.
For that one, I kept, and I knew that they were going to do that one from top to bottom. Like on the body.
Yeah.
And so I kept thinking, like, I watched this show on HBO about wigs and things. And apparently there's this huge industry where in India they have some sort of donation type thing that they go to this temple and they get something called a tonsure, which is they basically shave all their hair off. And sometimes this hair is very long.
Oh, I thought you said a timeshare, like a timeshare for hair.
No.
That would be funny.
Yeah, that would be. No, Ton, tonsure.
Tonsure.
And they shave their hair off at these temples. And they think that, you know, they'll get blessings, or I don't know what they think when they do it, but it turns out these temples is like a big business. They then turn that hair around and they sell it, you know, and it goes into wigs and weaves and all kinds of things, and most of it comes to America. And so I thought, well, the story I'm going to write for Give is going to be about a hair donation.
Ooh, okay.
Only the hair is going to have nerves in it.
Ooh, oh man. So like it latches on and like sucks blood out of your scalp or something? Like what's going on?
No, but imagine, like, you know, we all go for haircuts.
Yeah.
You've been for one, I've been for one. Imagine if every snip of that scissors hurt you.
Ooh,
imagine if that hair was like your finger, you know?
Wow. Dang.
And so this guy in this story, he does something bad, and he has to make amends. And when he goes to make amends, the god that over the hair, the hair god,
the hair god, who's
yeah. In order to make amends, huh?
Oh, I was gonna say, who's the hair god?
Well, it's Fabio, man, isn't it?
Oh, of course, Fabio.
Oh Lord!
Why do I even have to ask?
Yeah, you walked right into that, buddy.
I know, right? Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
So Fabio. Okay.
Well, it's not Fabio in the story, but that's just a side thing. But, you know, he has to go and make amends and give another hair donation. And this time, every snip is like cutting off a finger.
Okay. Like, could you endure that? Like, if it hurt to cut your hair, would you get a haircut? Like, at all? Or would you just throw it all out?
I'd have hair down to the pavement.
Does that, maybe that explains Pentecostals.
But, you know, but there are people that are principled enough to endure it, I would think. Don't you think?
Well, maybe. I'm thinking,
I mean, there's monks and stuff that, like, you know, reject all modern society.
True. Yeah. And they operate a whole different plane. I mean, there's monks out there in the Himalayas just like in freezing cold weather, but they're like, there's steam coming off their body. Like, how are they able to do that?
Yeah.
Mind over matter to the max. I mean, there's just
mind over matter. Yep.
Yeah.
There's that polar bear club that dives into the Arctic.
Yeah.
You know, that's not gonna be fun.
So okay, so for the story, it sounds like you've done some research. To what extent? I mean, what I guess what I get to is like, what did you discover? I was like, I don't know, that fascinated you during this research.
Well, I actually I was struggling. I was invited to submit to that one, and I just thought, like, there's nothing I can do. Everybody's going to do a liver. Everybody's going to do a heart. Everybody's going to do a leg. What could I do that's, you know, and then I thought, hey, I saw that TV show. Yeah, that would have been a good one. I don't get me started. That probably would have been a good one.
Assholes.
I can only imagine what Jesse would write about.
Did testicles. I have to go back into that anthology and look if anybody did testicles.
No,
that might have been like a. I feel like they haven't. That might have been an open. That might
they didn't cover the whole body. Then they did not cover the whole body.
Missed opportunity.
Yep.
Missed opportunity.
Let's see. I'm coming through.
But
right
I actually
now.
have a friend from India
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give him a shout out here because his name is Usman. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right because he never told me how to pronounce it. Ali, and
Okay.
he lives in India, and he actually went to a temple and had one of these tonsure hair shaving things. So he told me all about like what he did, and that really helped me write the story.
Oh wow,
That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah, he told me like what train he took and what happened when he got to the station and where they directed him and what happened when he got to the temple and all this stuff. So, one of the things about writing is,
Whoa, hold on. I'm coming through.
knowing people that actually.
Oh,
it's
sorry.
one thing to research and read on the internet, and it's another thing to like know somebody that actually has been through whatever you were writing about.
Oh, definitely.
It's very valuable.
And it gives you insight to a whole different culture as well. And you're not just like looking at it on like Wikipedia or like Googling it. You're actually getting from someone who lived it, who's been there.
Yeah.
The only
even the words you use, like you might say, I don't know where you live, but you say your neighbors. You might say your community.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the word to use in India is colony.
Well, that's different.
My colony.
My colony.
Yeah. So,
By the way,
you have
I'm looking
housing
over
complexes. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm looking over the TOC on the Give anthology, and it has some interesting stuff. Baby Maker's a story that I'm thinking that's about. Nut job. That's another. Are you sure there's not testicles? I'm thinking there's testicles in this. This little piggy.
I'm not sure. You know what? Here's what I really suck at. I'll submit story to an anthology back in the day. Now I don't do that anymore, but I used to do it back in the day, and they would publish my story, and I would grab it, and I'd buy a print copy, and I'd be all fascinated and show everybody, hey, look, I just got a story in this thing, but I never read the rest of them.
Oh, interesting.
I just read mine like 6 times. This
actually has some pretty good names in it. I recognize Christine Morgan. Yeah. She's Vicarious. Let's see who else. Well, yeah, this anthology looks pretty damn good. I'm definitely impressed.
I love it. They were going to do another one called Take, which is the other side.
Ooh.
And I think they're still working on that. I just haven't had the opportunity to put it out yet. But this would be like when you get an organ or some body part from somebody else. That one, I can imagine that's got to be even more fascinating. You got a cornea from a dead guy or something, right? Then he's starting to see and he's a serial killer or something, and you get flashbacks, or you got, I don't know.
That is interesting.
But I hope they do it.
I mean, there's even short stories, novels, horror movies that are based on the concept, like The Eye or whatever, where it's like you get an eye donated from someone and you could see what they saw, or you could, I don't know. Interesting. I mean, if you share an organ if you take someone's organ, take someone's part of their body, like maybe you do get some sort of experience. Do you?
I know somebody that we could ask.
I know. I'm thinking the same person. I think we had that conversation before.
I think we did too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I might have been a little hammered on that stream, so you'd have to listen to it. It's
there's a blackout period from the Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been something else.
Maybe.
Who knows? Okay.
Well, like who do you know? Like you don't have to tell me their names or anything, but like what did they get?
He had a heart transplant.
Heart transplant.
Oh.
Yep.
That's fascinating.
It's very good. It's very, very interesting stuff. It's a good story. Very touching.
It is, and he wrote a story about it too.
Mm-hmm. He did. By the way, I'll take the other shot. I need to take one more shot for all this. Okay. I've been taking
How
shots.
many was that?
I don't know. Were you counting? I was counting. Apparently you weren't
how
counting.
many shots were there?
There's 4 5s and 20. That's all I know. So this is my 4th one. Okay. Okay. What else in your story could you tell us? Like, I'm thinking here.
That was we just spent like 20 minutes talking about
we
one.
We did. I don't know. There's one more little tease.
That's okay too.
If you were to convince someone to read this story, what would you say?
Oh, I would push them to my collection of Betwixt the Dark and Light.
Oh, okay.
And I'll also tell you that was I write a lot of short stories and I can name them almost instantly. I never have a problem naming a short story I'm writing on.
Good.
But the collection of short stories, oh my God, it took me like 2 years to actually come up with a name. I think Betwixt the Dark and Light is what I finally came up with that I took. And it's set in stone, and so now I don't really think about it, like should I name it something else? But those 2 years were awful. I had like so many bad titles, man. So that's the hardest thing for me is how to name and Stephen King does it he's got 4 seasons, right? That's 4 stories, and it makes sense that he named it 4 seasons, and Graveyard Shift, and he's got Nightmares and Dreamscapes. He's got a lot of collections of short stories. But for me, it was just horrible. I used to I got a good name, and I'd send it to people that I knew that tell me the truth, and they're like, oh, that sucks. Well, so finally, Betwixt the Dark and Light became the name, and I was like, I still had some people that said that sucks, but I'm like, I'm just going with it because I can't deal with this anymore. I need a name.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting because I, for one, and maybe some people in the chat too, and other people that are listening, I'm horrible with coming up with names. Like, I'll come up with a concept or something, but a name for it, oh man, good luck. Good luck.
Oh, yeah.
So what's your secret?
Yeah, this is why I don't name my poetry, because I suck at names, and if you don't believe me, just ask my cats.
Is your cat's name like Paul or something?
No, I have a cat named Boo Bad Cat, a cat named Mouse.
Wait, time out.
A cat named Mouse.
Mouse?
Mouse.
He's gonna probably destroy himself. That's really kind of mean.
Is he eating himself?
No, it's not, because
he probably wants to kill himself.
Yeah. Oh wait, no.
He
Becky.
squeaks like a little mouse when he's what?
And maybe he doesn't identify as a cat. It's 2019. Maybe the cat doesn't identify as a cat, but he identifies as a mouse. Maybe that's what's going.
Oh.
Becky, you're smart. You're thinking really smart. You're thinking far enough. Yeah.
Well, you're the first person that's told me that today.
You can stop buying Friskies and all that expensive stuff and just lay out like a little block of cheese and see if
he does love cheese. I will give him that.
See? He squeaks.
Yeah.
He loves cheese. Right. He shits little rat pellets. He is a mouse.
Yeah.
No?
I have a cat named Walker and a cat named Smudge.
Oh, what's Smudge?
Well, Smudge is good.
Smudge is black and white. Smudge is I got him when I was watching Misery, and about the time where he says something about the paper and he says it smudges and he rubbed his finger across it.
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna name the cat Smudge.
I have a black and white cat too, and I named the cat Domino. Which,
cool.
Used to be a game that nobody plays anymore.
Yep.
But I think, we know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The little white tiles or the black tiles with the white dots.
Now, hold on.
But none of my cats know their cats.
There's one name that Becky said that I don't know if we caught. Did you say Boo or did you say Bad Cat? What was the first
I said his name is Boo Boo Bad Cat.
Boo Boo Bad Cat.
Uh-huh.
That's not even a name. That's a sound.
Well, is there Yeah, like, is there a nickname for that? Because you aren't saying "Boo Boo Bad Cat, get over here." Hey, Boo Boo Bad Cat.
I call him Boo. I call him Boo
I
Boo.
just choked. I just choked trying to say that.
I call him Boo Boo, or sometimes he has a nickname. I call him Pig. He's my pig.
Pig?
Man,
Yeah.
Man, we segued
That
because
opens
of
up
me.
a
My
whole
fault,
new
my
line
fault.
of worms there.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
know.
Let's get back
So anyway,
to the collection.
so Betwixt.
Yes, Betwixt. So what is the ones? Okay, what's your favorite story in this collection? What's the one that people should start off with?
Well, those are two different questions.
Okay.
My favorite and the ones that people should start off with.
Okay.
So,
what's your favorite?
It's probably a story called Guga. Gugga.
I remember you telling me about this one.
Guga.
This story is the one I used to have it out there as a short story on Amazon, and when I put it in the collection, I pulled it off because I thought, like, well, I don't want somebody to buy Guga and then buy the next one and then, like, hey, goddamn it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I just paid twice for the same damn story. So, but that had, like, tons of reviews, and they were all really good, really good. And it's the first story I self-published. And, you know, zombie stories are interesting.
Oh, it is a zombie story. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a zombie story.
And this is a zombie story I would read. So that tells you something.
There's a real part of me that loves zombie stories. I always followed George Romero. I remember I actually saw Dawn of the Dead at, like, midnight movies back in the 70s or 80s, whenever it came out. But the problem with zombie stories for me as an editor and publisher is that, first of all, half the world is given to you already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they all follow the same thing. The breakout, the CDC, the military coming in, and it gets tiring after a while. So if you're going to do a zombie story, you really have to have something unique and cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even when I used to submit stories to anthologies, there was always, like, this no zombie stories in the open call.
Oh yeah, they still do that. They still do that. There's plenty of them that are like no zombies.
Yeah. Because half of it is the same across all of them. You know, the characters might be different, but, you know, such and such ran out of their house and saw the neighbor biting somebody, and what the heck's going on, and, you know, then they got the military in the neighborhood, and then it all falls to shit. You know, and I've read that a million times. And so, but anyway, this story, Guga, long time.
Yeah.
And humans are, you know, maybe we got overrun like you see in The Walking Dead, and there's a few communities of humans, but I don't actually believe that. I think, like, we have smart enough people that are isolated enough in you know, like, compounds and things that would figure out some kind of way to deal with this. We're gonna get killed, and so I figured, like, hey, you know, they'll solve it. They'll get a vaccine or something that stops this little zombie virus. So my story takes place at the very end of it. There's only a few left. A few zombies left. You know?
Okay.
And everyone's got a vaccine, so they're supposedly not acceptable. But you got the anti-vaxxers, of course, you know.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, I ain't giving that shit to my kids. Gonna make them autistic or whatever, you know.
Okay. I'd rather my kid be a zombie than autistic. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I got this story. I started writing this, and it's from the zombie's point of view, and I had to give him a little bit of functioning thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the best thinking, but it's, you know, functional. Like,
it's functional. Yeah.
I gotta
Makes
hide
sense.
because this guy is actually somebody we all know in zombie form.
Like you mean like a celebrity, or you mean like
celebrity?
Ah.
I'll tell you more. I'll give the whole dang thing away. Actually, so that story's so old
W.
now,
Bush.
I should probably just give it away. It was
Yeah.
it was George W. Bush.
Oh no way!
And here's
really?
the funny thing, right? Yeah. So I got so then like I wrote like 3/4, and I was like, oh my god, this is George W. Bush wandering around as a
Hold
zombie.
on, I didn't even read this. I just guessed it. What? I guess because
Yeah. No, you nailed it, man. So
Wow.
then I had to go back and like throw in like little clues and stuff. You know, like he used to live in a big white house, and
he did
stuff.
Was your big clue? He did 9/11.
No, I didn't touch 9/11. I was gonna do one called Duga. I haven't done it yet, but this is Donald Trump as a zombie, and he's gonna be like walking around a wall down at the bottom of Mexico, and like, wishing he could get over there wishing he could get across the wall because, like, you know, it's zombie free down there because we built a wall and can zombie free and stuff, and then of course we're all hosed over here and we can't get out because. But I maybe one day I'll do that one, but I didn't. But I did do one thing in there, and this is quite fascinating. I put in there like a scene where he's talking to this female zombie he made.
Yeah.
And she taps on her chest and says her name is Anga.
Mm-hmm.
And he taps on his chest and says his name's Guga. And then he says, Guga W. Right, that's a dead giveaway right there. Guga W.
Guga
and
W.
Everybody, and several people I wrote says, you got to take that out, man. That's just like too obvious.
Oh, but you know what though? Some people just don't get it.
Let me finish though. Let me finish though. I have a lot of people that read that story that had no idea, even after reading it, was George W. Bush. I was like, I don't know what else to do, man. I could make it too obvious, or, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for some people, you just gotta help them out.
That's a story that people love the most that I wrote.
Okay, that sounds like a cool story. I gotta check that one out. Now, let me go and segue just real fast because I realized I had the kind of the website stats showing for a little bit. Let me do the meat grinder stats just real fast. What the meat grinder is, it's a writing contest. Okay. And I'll make this quick. I'm not going to be announcing a whole bunch of numbers. You can see here on the screen. This is Google Analytics. This is what I'm using here. So,
look at you, man.
Yeah, so the meat grinder writing contest, people submit a story. It's competing with other stories for the most views, likes, and comments. I'm using analytics to get the views because we're looking at unique page views, not just page views, but unique page views because, you know, we got to make sure it's not the same IP address and all that. All right, so the person that's in the lead right now is Ray Pugh. I'm horrible with names. We all know. And Trev Hill's in second place. Pugh.
Well, yeah, he called me Mary had a little Lambert, man. That's pretty bad with names.
I know, right?
You didn't call him Jessica either, did you?
No, I didn't. I did not reciprocate.
No.
And I still have my secret.
In second place, we have Up the Dark Alley by Trev Hill. And let's see, third place, these two don't count.
That sounds like that's a story?
Yeah, Up the Dark Alley. That
sounds like a porn story.
It does, huh? Up the Dark Alley. What does that mean, huh?
It really does. It really does.
It could
That would have been a good caption for one of the pictures.
Okay.
In third place, we have Troy Story. Not Toy Story, but Troy Story. Then we have Miasma in fourth place. In fifth place, we have Sentenced to Suffer. Where am I? Sixth place, we have The Wheel. And in the seventh place, we have The Girl Without a Name. All right, what I could say for those that are kind of trailing in last is just share. Just share your story as much as possible. Share around. And remember, it's not just the views, it's also the comments. I'm not looking at the comments and likes right now. I'll look at that later on. But if you can get people to have a conversation about your story in the comment section of your story, that's great. That's just going to help you out because we're looking at the comments, the likes, and the views all together. Right now, I'm just kind of showcasing the views, the unique views, to give you an idea of where you're at. Because it's safe to say that if your unique view is low, then you're probably not getting the likes and the comments that you want. So share. That's all I could really say. All right. And I guess since we're kind of, you want to do the caption contest now? We can kind of do that right now.
Yes.
Becky, we had 2 caption contests, really. Because we had
Yes,
one
we
we
did.
didn't do before on the other show. Oh, okay. And Jonathan, you had a chance to look at these photos. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's do the
Which one are you doing first?
young Jesse.
Are you asking me for captions? Oh no, you're
Well,
no,
yeah,
okay.
let's hear your caption for each one of them as we do before we read the guest one.
So on the screen right now
people.
is I think this is like a middle school Jesse. I think I was in junior high. I'm not sure. I don't remember really. I blacked this moment out. I really did.
I like the big shirt.
I would caption that like I don't know, something like Son of Sam's early photos. Yeah. Something that painted you like here's your moment of innocence, but the shit's coming.
Yeah. I dig that. Okay.
All right, so do you want me to read these and not tell you who they're from so you can pick a winner?
Yes, I don't want to be biased.
Okay. The first one, on the next episode of Boy Meets Marijuana.
Okay, that's funny.
The next one is Jesse, I'm paying a lot.
I think I have a winner already, but anyway, go ahead.
Whoa.
Say the rest of them.
The next one is Jesse, I'm paying a lot of money to send these yearbook photos to our family. If you fool around again, so help me God.
That's not something my mom would say. Okay, what's the next one?
I was gonna take a class photo, but then I got high.
Okay, that's funny too.
So you got to say that right now. No, there's a song there. You see, you got to do that right.
Mm-hmm.
What was it again?
I was gonna take a class photo, but then I got high.
No, you got to do it like this. I was gonna take a class photo, then I got high.
Yeah.
You got to
No,
read it like that.
I am not you. They won't let me sing.
Then I got high.
Yeah, Afro Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great song, man. End of I only learned about it from the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm. Good movie too. Okay. What other comments we got?
I just got back from the Motley Crue concert and I sat in the top row. I think I'm still there. The next one is just take the damn picture and pass the blunt, Karen.
A lot of drugs on this one, man.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's fascinating.
When the Xanax bars kick in.
Oh, another drug reference. Look at that. Everybody sees that little, they see that little innocent kid and they know he's going to get all fucked up in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at my eyes. I look like I have Down syndrome. Like, what the I mean,
you do not.
I mean,
you look like you're half asleep.
Did you get like a Tom Cruise before Scientology?
Yeah.
Caption on there?
The next one is when you're trying to pass gas in public.
Ooh.
The next one
That's an
is
expression.
the next one is oh my god, this is so funny. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what I'm holding in my hands? Okay, in just one hand. Oh, the mayhem and destruction I could crush with those little souls with my bare hands. But first, a beer or two, and they will have to pay for the shipping and handling of my Nintendo.
That was too long. Lost my interest. What's the next one?
Finn in a what, Mr. Deadman? I smoked your joint.
Okay.
The next one is girls. I love girls.
Okay.
The next one is I farted. Ha.
Ah,
The next one is
Hey,
I
but
touched a
listen
boob.
though, can I interject for a second?
sure.
Yeah.
Do you see what people think is funny? Drugs and farts.
Yeah.
So if you throw that into your horror story, like my story, I have this story called Badass and Apocalypse, and these two stoner dudes, right?
Yeah.
And that's their
God.
name. And I'll only take a second and get back to the caption.
No, that's, no problem. No problem.
The funny thing is, like, I didn't want to write a vampire story because they're all like the same in my opinion. Like, it's very hard to get like in a short story, right? If a novel, you can do all kinds of stuff, but in a short story, vampires are all the same. So I thought, like, I'm gonna get this old classic Victorian vampire who got unearthed, and he comes back, to society, and he gets these vampire thralls, he calls them, but he picks up these two stoner dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And one is named Badass, and the other name is Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And the reason the guy's name is Badass isn't because he's a tough guy, but it's because, he's apt to lift a cheek off the couch and let one rip.
Oh, shit.
Famous for his fart.
Mm.
And so, long story short, they go down and they figure, well, they break out of the vampire spell with weed, by the way. Apparently, if you smoke marijuana. And somebody wrote a review on my on this story that said, like, another reason to legalize marijuana, it breaks you out of the vampire spell.
It would.
So they go down to the coffin and they finally figure out we gotta sink this guy, and they get their like wooden stake and all, and they open the coffin and the vampire's not there. Like, he's in the room back in the shadows. He's like, "Did you think I was stupid?" The vampire says, and he runs at this guy Badass, who just like releases like the worst gas ever. And the vampire's like lunging for his neck, and that cloud hits him. He's like, "Oh, Jesus!" And it gives him enough pause for the other guy to stake him and kill him. So I don't know for sure, but I think I might have written the only vampire story where a fart killed a vampire.
Well, it's a garlic fart, right?
Funny.
I mean, God. I mean, oh, man. I can see it.
Well, that's horror comedy.
It is.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
Well, I actually had to think about this. Like, do vampires smell? Like, I had to put some.
Well,
really
vampires must smell.
At the end, like,
because vampires don't like garlic, right? They don't like garlic. So, I mean, they must have a scent of smell. So they probably like,
Right.
Yeah. I think it's possible to kill a vampire with a fart. Why not?
Why
yeah,
not?
I already did it. I did
Yeah.
it. You got to read the story. Badass and Apocalypse.
I'll check that one
There's
out.
lesbians in that story too. If you need any more
Whoa. Well, you already had my attention with vampires.
If you need, If you need any more incentive, there's lesbians in that story.
Now
too.
you're upselling. What is this in your betwixt the dark and light?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me about these lesbians. Like, what's going on with these lesbians?
No, you're back to the caption contest. Do not know lesbians.
Yeah, let's get back to. I'll tell you about the lesbian. Yeah, I know. You got to talk about the lesbians.
We'll put the lesbians on hold.
Okay.
All right. Let's do the rest of the captions. All right. What else we got?
Okay. The next one was I touched a boob. A boob.
Okay.
The next one is ejaculation in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I do like that one.
Does that look like an O face? Okay.
Okay, that's all for that one.
Okay, I think the one.
What about like soon to be Vinny Barbarino?
You know, I think
the picture reminds me of The Outsiders.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I think I could see it, like a stoned Outsiders, like a lot of marijuana.
No, it does not. You don't look stoned, you dork.
I totally stoned. I think
Or I've been seeing this on my milk carton for 10 years.
All right, I think but I got high.
Where is this kid?
Who did the but I got high? That one. The Afro Man. The but I got high. That one.
That was Josh Davis.
Okay, well, send him an ebook.
Okay.
Monster vs.
Now,
Nazis or something.
Are we doing the other one now too?
Yeah, let's do the other one. Let me change it. This one's like brand new. I might be a biting girl. Here we go. People thought I was joking, but no, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find the image. Where is it? Oh, my God.
He done snagged your picture.
My caption for that one, Rupert, I totally miss Obama's fava bean recipe because the rest of it is awesome.
All right, let me take off let me move something out of the way real fast. All right. There we go. All right, so now we have the new caption up, the new photo. So it's clearly me my hair is being sniffed by Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It happened. I was
He's in your
there.
personal space.
Mm-hmm. You violated me.
He's a personal space violator.
Yep.
So you ready?
Yep. I'm ready.
The first one.
Oh, shit.
I
Sorry.
love the smell of brute. I'm just going to go ahead and slide it in right here, right now. Just the tip.
Okay. Okay, Biden.
I used to have brute, man. Like when I was married, I had a little Lambert way back in the day. I was like a brute freak. That was like the hot cologne, man. And they had another one called High Karate. Do you remember that one?
No.
Yeah.
High karate.
It had like a dude doing a karate chop, like right on the bottle, and it
Was it
was the
good?
shit, man. Yeah, High Karate and Brute, and Old Spice. That's what the dudes from the 50s and 60s smelled like.
Yep.
Yeah, Old Spice, I definitely know. Yeah.
You probably smell like ocean breeze and something there. That's why Biden is like all up in that shit.
Yeah, I can't lie. I use cherry blossom. I use a cherry blossom hair shampoo. I try to make it smell very nice.
Well, that's a big thing in DC, man. You feel like you're trolling you're trolling Biden with the cherry blossom.
Hey! Don't blame the victim. All right, don't victim shame. Is that what shaming the victim?
Am I victim shaming?
Yeah, you're victim shaming.
It's your fault.
I'm allowed to use
that
cherry
song
blossom.
and Hey, look, the song you're wearing and the cherry blossom scent. I don't blame Biden.
Hey.
I want to know how he knows you had on a thong.
Because he saw.
What have you been showing? Have you been showing everybody your thong again?
Jonathan has the other side of the photo. Jonathan has the hardcore documents.
Biden is sitting back behind you, sees that whale's tail sticking up from his back, and he's like,
flashing the whale tail.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, I think Jonathan might win the captions. Anyway, what else we got?
The next one is, tonight will be a night you'll never forget. I'll bring the lube. The next one is, bite the pillow, dead man. Just pretend it's the latest multiplayer game. The next one is, hey, sweet hole, ready to get sworn in? The next one is, dead man, you feel like you got some life left in you.
Oh, that's a lie.
That's a good one.
The next one is, last week on Old and the Hairless.
Okay.
The next one is, you have lovely skin. I can't wait to try it on. The next one is every time I poop, I think of you.
Ooh, no.
Ew. I actually don't like to think of Biden pooping. That's kind of gross.
I know what
There's
you did
some
last
Weekend
weekend.
at Bernie's joke in here too, but I can't quite nail it.
I know what you did last night. I have the video to prove it.
Oh,
You might not can nail it, but Biden looks like he is. Sorry. I couldn't help it. It was there. I had to say.
Just biding my time.
Yep. The next one is there's only 5 or less layers of clothing separating us from ecstasy.
Oh, no, there's less. There's less. Let me guarantee you. I was wearing less that night. Mm-hmm.
The next one is a position for milk cock. I mean, shit.
Wait, what?
What? Repeat that.
You got to start that one all over again.
Okay. Okay, let's hold it together.
A position for milk.
The position.
A position for milk cop. Just open
Not
up
gonna get it.
if you're still interested.
Oh, the milk cop. Ooh, that's an inside
I
joke.
still don't understand what you said. What did you say?
Milk cop. Milk cop.
Milk cop?
Yeah, milk.
A position for
Cop?
milk
What's a
cop.
milk cop?
A milk. Look, Jonathan, did you know that Georgia wants to inventory every drop of sperm? The state of Georgia wants to inventory every drop of sperm. Every time you ejaculate, Georgia wants to know if
you're over 50.
If you're over 55, they want to know if you cum in your pants or if you
That
cum
was
at
50.
all. Oh, whatever, 50.
There's going to have to be inspectors around here all the time.
Well, apparently they're hiring milk cops, and yeah, and I might have called them to inquire about the job position.
He did live on the air. I kid you not.
I mean, this is probably sexist, but all Georgia has to do is send like some hot inspectors around, and they get it.
Yeah.
They don't have to have a warrant or anything.
I haven't come at all today, but if one now, yeah. Shit.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's funny too. There's a whole gag. I mean, you have to. I think was it the Mondays? It was the Monday's show, right?
Monday, yeah.
So look at that. We called Georgia. We called the representative live on the air, doing our part,
left a voicemail.
Asked him a question.
Did he have like the Jimmy Carter kind of accent, like "How y'all doing? Hi, what's up?"
My God, it was hilarious.
I did.
You have to listen to that one. It was great.
I kind of brought on the accent. I did. All right.
He did.
All right, now
he did. It was a Southern drawl, and I was quite proud.
All right, now
okay,
y'all gonna come and examine my bathroom carpet? You better get that thing that's called like luminol or whatever. You better get luminol or whatever, because I don't even want to see you showing luminol around my house, because I don't know what's going to show up.
Ain't a Southerner alive that have carpet in their bathroom.
What?
There ain't a...
Huh? No, I'm talking about those little things you get, like those little 2x4 thingies.
I know.
Or that little... And like, who does that, like, toilet carpetry? You seen that at Walmart? In the other places, like, you're going to put a carpet on the... This is like a little, like, it looks like a hairnet, but it's like a carpet, and it's for the toilet seat.
Oh. Like a toilet seat cover?
There's like a toilet seat cover, and then like this little carpet that goes in front of the toilet. What?
Yeah.
I'm confused. And I'm not... Am I that drunk?
Never mind. I'll explain it later.
Explain it to me. Never. Oh, what's the rest of the captions?
The captions?
The captions.
Uh-huh. The next one is squeal like a pig, boy.
Oh, okay.
The next one is, shh, Jesse, you know that butterfly kisses make a world the better place.
Okay, that's dark.
The next one is hashtag when you almost forget to put your surprised face mask on.
Okay.
The next one is
you know what
I
would
ate
be a
all
good
the
caption?
Reese's.
When Biden blew my neck.
Oh God.
Okay.
What was the next one?
I ate all the Reese's.
Oh,
The
what?
next one is, and I am not singing this.
What did you say? Like, I heard anal Reese's.
Anal
No.
Reese's?
I ate all the Reese's. ATE.
Oh, all
Oh,
right.
okay.
Sorry. Yeah, okay.
Y'all are hearing shit now. The next,
I see a guy like up
my
on the back of
darling.
another guy. Go ahead.
The next one is, oh, my love, my darling, I hunger for your streams. Not those kind of streams.
Oh, no. Okay, what's the next one?
You got a pretty mouth, boy.
You know, what I see is like, I know like Donald Trump is like the orange guy, but Biden's got a bit of orange in there.
He does.
And Jesse ain't got no orange at all.
No.
You're going to have to orange yourself up a little bit if you
I'm
want to
like
get
white.
to that kind of.
I attract him too
you
much.
need to get some orange, man.
They see me, they're
Oh,
like,
Lord,
oh my
no.
God, he's so pasty and white. He is. They're just attracted to my ivory whiteness.
Your whiteness?
Yeah, they're like, man.
Have you ever seen that meme, like Irish girl bathing? And like there's this girl sitting in the middle of the picture, and you're like, oh, what the fuck is that? And then, and then there's like, when you see it, there's actually like a girl laying on the sand, and you just don't even see her because she's like so pale.
Oh man, I gotta
It's
check
fun.
it. Is that a safe for work or
Google, just Google Irish girl sunbathing, and it'll be everywhere.
Should I?
Oh, good Lord.
Have window caption on while I do this, or should I not? Okay, what are the rest of the captions?
Do it.
The next one is, even perps don't have an age limit.
Okay.
The next one is, no, Jesse, that's not a cucumber in my pocket. The next one is, wow, it's surprisingly flaccid. The last one is, like the doctor says, you're going to feel a little prick.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, so which one is your favorite?
All right. The one that made me laugh
Oh
the
my
most.
God, that's a tough job there, Jesse.
I laughed so hard, I actually forgot all of them. No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you might have to review those.
You may read through them real quick.
No. Just real fast.
Yeah, real quick. It's like
Real
20
fast.
minutes it took you.
Real fast.
You know I love the smell of brood. I'm just going to go ahead and slide it in, right?
Pass.
Okay. Tonight will be a night you'll never forget. I'll bring the lube.
Pass.
Bite the pillow, dead man.
Pass.
Just pretend it's the light.
Pass.
Hey, sweetheart. I'm going to hurt you. Dead man, you smell like you got some life left in you.
Pass.
Last week on Old and the Hairless.
Pass.
You have lovely skin. I can't wait to try it on.
Pass.
Every time I poop, I think of you.
That has some like deep stuff.
I know
in
what
it
you
there.
did last weekend. I have the video to prove it. There's only 5 or less layers of clothing separating us from ecstasy. God dang it. I
That's
have
not
to
even
read
true.
this one again.
It's one layer of clothing, and it's the thong. Pass.
Yeah, it's a whale tail.
A position for milk cop.
That one. Inside joke.
Opened
Inside
up
joke.
if you're still interested.
Okay, who's that one?
That one?
Yeah.
Jeff Scott.
Okay, well, he wins an ebook.
Cool.
Pick a title. Anyway. All right.
Okay.
So now let's do chat questions.
How about like, since you aren't getting any, I want you to be my new administrator of Planned Parenthood.
Okay. Sure. I'll do that.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay. Let's do
Probably
chat questions.
Mary had a little
I think-
Lambert after
I
all.
think
So,
chat has some questions.
Had a little payback.
Did Kelly Evans have a question? No, she said talking about donations. She would make sure I get drunk. Kelly Evans was to see me get drunk, apparently.
How many shots have you had now?
I had.
Not enough.
No.
You don't count. When you don't know the count, that's bad.
Okay, I think Clark Roberts had a question. So Becky, can you read that? Because apparently I can't read.
You can't read. What the hell?
I don't read anything.
Do you only publish through your Jolly Horror Press now, or do you ever submit to other publishers?
That's a good question, because if you are a publisher, it seems like an easy way to get published, doesn't it? Like, because nobody's you're picking the stories that you push in. You can push in your own. It could suck.
Yep.
So the good thing is I did not publish any of my own stories in Don't Cry to Mama. And now we have our second anthology coming out called A Curse, and I think I have an idea. But the good thing is I do have a very critical second editor named Laurie Titus. And if I did decide to publish a story, she would have to be okay with it. And we have a good enough relationship where she can tell me, like, dude, this story sucks.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's fascinating, though, like, because I do see, like, a lot of anthos that are by a certain person as the publisher have their story in it. And I want Jolly Horror's books to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to use it as a almost like a hidden self-publish, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just self-publishing it, I could like put it under the Jolly Horror Press name, and now it looks like it's not even self-published, but it's still really self-published because I'm the only one deciding.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. I will, if I do feel the urge to write a story for an antho that I'm publishing, I will make sure that my editor, partner, Laurie, actually feels like I won't embarrass myself with putting some crap in there, because we get a ton of great stories, and I don't want to, and I write great stories, and I also write crap.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want one of the crap ones I don't want to just, push that into the antho to publish it and got to get another writing credit because, that would suck.
Yeah.
So that's a really good question.
It is a good question.
That's a really good question.
It's a very good question.
Cool.
Because
I do actually send off stories sometimes, because I think, like, especially if you're like a self-published writer, mm-hmm. Any high school kid, right? This is the problem with Amazon self-publishing. There's so much stuff out there, and any high school kid can post the story they wrote in 10th grade English, creative short story stuff, and send it out and put 99 cents on it and put it out there, and it might be shit,
mm-hmm.
and you don't know. And the reviews, and of course, not a lot of people review stories anymore. Even like my own collection only has 13 reviews now, and they're all good. But you can never really, when you see something with like 10 to 15 reviews on it, you can't trust that it ain't the whole person's family. Mm-hmm. Who's going to give them all 5 stars?
I'm going to share. I'm going to share something. I'm going to share something on the stream real fast to really illustrate this point that you're bringing. There's a book out there called "Rants of a Fat, Loud Lesbian," and it is pretty much just a blog post in book form. Anyone can just could put something on Amazon. Anyone can. Anyone. And this is that.
Did you see the guy that was like Stephen R. King or something like that? I mean, there's a part of me that, like, you gotta like say like the guy's a genius, but there's another part of me that, like, he's a jackass too.
Mm-hmm. Stephen R. King, I gotta check that out.
or something like that. Yeah. So you know when you search Stephen King, you get like Pet Sematary, Christine, and then Stephen R. King's like the Forest.
This is funny.
Yeah,
it's funny because it looks just like Stephen R. King. And of course, he has like a bunch of trolls.
And it looks just like a Stephen King book, doesn't it?
Does.
So his whole deal is like, look at all the 1 stars on there. This motherfucker isn't Stephen King.
But I bet you there's 1 stars. Those 1 stars are probably like Stephen King fans because they're adamant supporters, man. Look,
Stephen R. King. You know, even Stephen King addressed this. I got like an email because I'm on his newsletter and all. He's like, I am not Stephen R. King. That's a new dude.
You know what? It's brilliant, though, in a way. Think about it, because...
And so, look at it. Disappointing. Very poorly written. No substance needs to be written. Yeah, it's fascinating. But you're right. It's brilliant. Like, the guy probably has more sales than I have just because people think he's Stephen King.
He probably does.
Yeah, until they return them.
Well, that counts against you, too. Let's see. Let's look at the ranking. Actually, no, he's up there. At 61 in horror short stories. He's in the top 100 for horror short stories.
Shut up. Really?
He nailed it. So that's what
it's fascinating, isn't it? Stephen R. King.
Joe Hill.
Someone needs to be Stephen R. King II.
Joe R. Hill. I think he should be Joe R. Hill. He might as well keep the streak going. And R. Rice. You know?
Oh my God.
Dean R. Koontz. Just keep it going, man. He just put the R in there, and he's good.
What is the? Oh, okay.
Hey, my fire alarm is going off. You hear that?
Oh man, you're on fire.
Are you on fire?
That's what's going on. That's what's going
Must
on.
been cooking.
Okay, I was not expecting this. This. I think this made the show right here. This discovery. Stephen R. King. Oh my God! If I click on this,
I can't believe you've never heard this before.
I've never heard of Stephen R. King. This opens up a whole...
I mean, what do you think? Brilliant or jackass? Tell me.
Me?
Both. A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. It's brilliant. He's making. I don't know if he's making $1 million, but he's making money. But is it grimy? He's manipulating it. Yeah, but you know what?
I want to know if that's his real name.
I wonder what Stephen King would say if I asked him brilliant or immoral.
Maybe that's his real name, Stephen King. Maybe he's one of Stephen King's lost, forgotten children, and he's like, you know, I have actually King's last name, and you know, he didn't. He you know, I don't
Wait,
know.
scroll back.
Scroll back.
Looks like Eminem.
He does.
God.
I'm on this profile page right now. Stephen R. King grew up in Midwest. He enjoys writing short stories in many different genres.
And impersonating famous authors. Does he have that?
Please note, if you're looking for books by Stephen King, best-selling author of Dr. Sleep and The Shining, please visit his author page. Not him.
Yeah, that's the lawsuit. Disclaimer. But you know, if you're like 100 years old and love Stephen King, you're like, hey, he's got another one out now called The Forest or whatever.
Here's what we got to do.
You got to read this one. I love that guy, Stephen King.
I'm inspired. I think for Deadman's Tome, the next, I'm going to do a sequel to the conspiracy issue because it was a very good issue. And I'm going to find, and you know what? I'm going to find somewhere, I'm going to, maybe we might find Alex Jones and Alex R. Jones there. King of Conspiracies, right? If he's in that issue, ooh, man, it might skyrocket. Who knows? If I could find an Alex R. Jones.
I have another author like on, if you go to Goodreads or Amazon, they just have Jonathan Lambert.
Mm-hmm.
There's like some English dude, I think, who writes like children's books.
Oh.
And I just hope none of those kids like confuse me with him.
Oh,
oh Lord.
They're gonna get pot smoking vampires, boys that kill vampires with farts.
There's an author that we published called.
And really, that's not what you want for like your 6-year-old, you know.
No, of course not. Of course not. There's an author that we published named Tony Evans, who can be confused with the pastor. What is some sort of a motivational speaker or something? Tony Evans. I'm not exactly sure. Is this him?
Tony Robbins, that dude?
Tony Evans.
The motivational dude?
No, Dr. Tony Evans is the founder and president of Urban Alternative National. Is that who he thinks he's being? Because Tony Evans, whenever I publish any of his stuff, he's like, he has to like get it to where it goes to his author page and not to this other Tony Evans page, who is the founder and president of the Urban Alternative. Looks like the Bible Fellowship in Dallas. Okay, Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship in Dallas. He is the best. Interesting stuff.
There's a big part of me that thinks like, man, I should have got into religion. I'm one of those dudes that like signed up early on for that. Do you remember the Universal Life Church?
Yeah.
What? The what church?
It was like this
Universal Life.
There's this thing called the Universal Life Church. It's like this. It's somewhat of a scam, and it's because you can get all these tax breaks if you are like a religious organization.
Yeah.
So like imagine like you have this place that will ordain you as a minister, and then you can have your buddies over to watch football every Sunday and call it church.
Yeah.
And you can claim all kinds of like tax exemptions for your football watching on Sunday because you're having service.
You're praying. You're doing a lot of praying. Right? You're praying for your team to win. Good, damn it.
Yeah.
You're praying hard.
And so I'm actually like, I still get like them. I'm actually, they claim I'm an ordained minister. I did it like in 1990. So I'm like one of the longest ordained ministers. I can apparently marry people if I want to under the Universal Life Church thing.
Interesting.
But it's a total joke.
Huh.
And, what they do is that they'll ordain you, but then they sell you all the fancy robes and plaques and certificates and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Well.
Yeah, so maybe I'll make like a horror church.
You could totally do it. We talked to someone who had a Church of Cthulhu, who was like the founder of the Church of Cthulhu. Imagine that.
Yep. No shit.
Write off my property taxes.
Yeah.
Yep. You can.
So the Church of Jolly Horror.
I think while we still have you here, let's talk a little bit about Jolly Horror. So, I know you kind of talked about it, like, in some way. Just remind me real fast. How long has Jolly Horror been around?
Almost a year now.
Almost a year. Okay.
Sometime in April. Yeah.
All right, and y'all publish horror comedy.
Well, we try to.
You try to.
We open calls for submission. We do a theme. We get. I update the website. I do the website myself. And we put it out there. And the problem is like we get tons of pure horror stories. There's no comedy in them. So we've kind of had to like bend a little bit, horror and horror comedy. But if I have two stories, if I'm down to two stories to pick which one I'm going to take and which one I'm not going to take, I'm going to take the one with the funny if they're both equal otherwise.
Of course. Might as well have it funny. I think, though, in your experience, do funny
my eventual
stories...
goal...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Did you ever, like, when you watch horror movies and you see, like, Blumhouse Productions or Ghost House Productions?
Yeah.
At the very beginning. So, eventually, I'm nearing retirement. I have about 6 or 7 years left to work at my current job. And when I'm done, I really want to push towards, like, movie production.
Oh, okay.
So cool. Jolly horror movies, like Evil Dead, the What We Do in the Shadows, the Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I want to do these kind of movies, as a production.
That'd be cool.
Company.
Yep. That'd be really cool. Okay. And I like that blend, by the way, the comedy and horror, because I think it works. I like that blend, the comedy and horror, and I think it works well. Yeah. Because people want to laugh.
I could watch 10 horror movies, and then if I got one like Tucker and Dale or What We Do in the Shadows or these kind of things that like really make you laugh during horror, those are like 10 times better for me. I love them. Evil Dead 2, even the second they did another. And they actually did a TV show, Ash versus Evil Dead.
They did.
Yeah, there was one time he goes into like a morgue and somehow gets sucked up the ass of a corpse. I mean, where do you see that stuff? It's like classic horror comedy,
The anus
I just love it.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you see that episode?
No. I'm just shitting.
Yeah.
Oh,
season 2, like episode 3 or 4 or something like that, where he goes in there and the corpse is animated and it just like somehow sucks him up his ass. It's like crazy, man.
But that's Evil Dead logic,
you're just sitting there like, what the F just happened? And not like us or Mother Google what the F. You're just like, what the F? Like in general, like, what did I just see?
Did you Google, can I get sucked up the ass of a cadaver? Did you Google that?
Oh, my Lord.
I'm gonna Google it. Can I get sucked up the ass of a cadaver?
Are you? No,
type like not. Ash versus Evil Dead, cadaver ass or something like that. I'm sure you could Google it somehow.
And my research result is 5 horrifying real body. What? How drunk am I? 5 horrifying.
She comes in from wherever she was at, and she enters the house, and we're all sitting there watching Ash versus Evil Dead while you're getting sucked up the ass of a cadaver, and she's there in the kitchen, and she's like, I looked back, and she just had like the classic like jaw drop, like what the fuck is going on?
Okay. Now, before we move on from your publishing company, I believe you have an open call, right? You have an open call for submissions?
I do, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and plug that real fast.
Sure. So it's called Accursed, and what we want is stories about you saw The Conjuring. I think I saw you. I think in your last one with the other author. I think you talked about The Conjuring a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And do you remember that room they had in The Conjuring with like Annabelle and all the other artifacts and things like that? Yeah. So we were trying to think of like what we should do for the next Antho, and we had a lot of ideas. One of them was like months, I'd like to have a horror story for every month of the year. We could call it like, Turn of the Sun or something like that.
Turn of the Sun.
But my problem with this kind of thing is like, you might be writing a January story, and I already took a January story, so we didn't know really how to do that.
I don't know. Like, you might have better. I know what you're getting at. The problem with, because people sending in just generic stories or stories they tailored for the anthology, they might have multiple months. Have you been open long enough to? I mean, do you have certain authors that you like to work with?
Yes, we do. We have our Stephen King has his actors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same actors. We have our same kind of people that always apply to us, and they're fantastic. Like Michelle Kilmer is one. If you haven't read any of her stuff, you really should, because it's really good. T.J. Tranchel and Alicia Escobar and these other people.
I will, and I'll tell you what, I'll read it, and after I read it, we can invite her on the show, and I talk to her about her stories and all that stuff.
She is fantastic, man. Like, in fact, of all the people I know, if I had to pick like who would be like the most famous, get movies from their books and stuff, it would be her. Her work is so good. Her work is so good.
That's good.
And she's in Don't Cry to Mama. She has the very last anchor story called Mora.
Don't Cry to Mama.
Which is about, it's like the end of the world. And don't step on a crack or you'll break your mother's back.
Oh, I was thinking, I know you have an open call. Open calls are good. You know, you might get some new blood with a new month, but have you reached out to any of the authors you work with to, I don't know, get some months kind of like nailed down? Just thinking something.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
Well, I'm thinking, so your worry is that people might submit stories of the same month, right? You might get like 5 stories for August.
Well, no. Hold on. I'm talking about, like, we had these ideas of things like a month, one turn of the sun, which would be like a story for every month.
Yeah, story for every month.
And we also had an idea about like every classic monster done new, you know, so a vampire, a werewolf.
Okay.
But my struggle with those kind of things was that you may have people have like, for example, somebody, let's say it was the classic vampires done anew. Yeah. Somebody may have sent in a vampire story, and I may have loved it and picked it. And there might be some other author toiling out there on a vampire story for my antho, and it's worthless because I already picked one. You know what I mean? And I didn't know how to handle that.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I could put like if I was doing the month thing, I could like put January, February, March on my website, and then just say, okay, January's taken. But what if you were 3/4 done writing your January story for me? You'd be pissed off, wouldn't you?
You'd be pissed, but you know what? At the same time, at the publisher end of it, it's kind of like, it is what it is. I mean, you could be pissed off about it.
I know.
You could kind of, because I was thinking about your situation. The other thing you can do is, you know, work with the authors you worked with before. Let them know this is kind of like a closed gig. They're going to work with you guys which month you want to use. But open call is great because you get new blood, you get new voices, you get new talent. It's great stuff. So it's, I don't know, but
yeah.
But
well, that part's cool, and we ended up rejecting all that for now, and we just went with a curse. So all we ask is that your story has some sort of cursed item, which is why I mentioned like conjuring and that little room they have with all these little artifacts.
All right.
So tell me a story about, you know, I don't know, a cursed doll, or, you know, it's horror comedy, so it could be a cursed pack of Fig Newtons. I don't care.
Yeah, look at that.
You know, it just has to be good, you know.
Well, that's a lot easier to manage. Definitely.
Yeah.
Man, here I thought I was trying to problem solve with you, like, okay, what are we gonna do? You know, but yeah, that's easy. Yeah. So write a curse.
I posted on the site. We're open till June 30 for submissions. Although I also posted like a little disclaimer that you know, Jolly Horror Press is getting a little bit more famous. We were our virgin. It's probably a bad word. Our virgin antho was Don't Cry to Mama, and we got maybe, I want to say, 95 submissions.
Ooh,
and
that's cool.
I can already tell from what's coming in with the curse that we're going to be way above that.
That's pretty.
You know, I probably have. We opened on April 1st, so it's 5 days. I already have like 20.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
So we're planning to remain open till June 30. But I also posted, like, if you're seriously writing a story for this, plan on May 31st. Because if I have like 400 stories or 500 stories by May 31st, I'm just going to shut it down because that's enough.
Yeah.
There's enough good stuff in there for us to publish.
Yeah, that's a lot of stories to come through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's always so much crap. You know, we put right on our site, like, hey, we're like accepting of everybody. We like diversity. No animal torture stories. And still, I get like stories that start off with like, I killed my neighbor's cat.
Pass.
Like, dude, did you fucking read the And
Man,
you know,
maybe
like I'm not
killing
publishing
cats.
stories about killing cats.
Yeah,
Even if the story's good, you know, I'm gonna piss off a lot of people if I publish a story about killing cats because you know
exactly.
half our audience are old cat ladies.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reading audience anymore. Old cat ladies.
Right, dang right. Yeah.
If I was
But
smart,
it's funny
I would
how like
change-
people don't read it. And, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, you know, like Deadman's Tome, as of late, and especially the podcast, has been using a lot of, you know, like female models, one way or the other, to kind of like show off the show. But if I was smart, what I really would be doing is using a bunch of hulky dudes, because really the reading audience nowadays is cat ladies. Cat ladies don't want to see other attractive women reading books. They want to see, you know, good looking dudes reading books. I'm just our cats reading
get
books.
the abs out there, man. You put some abs out there on your
What
next
the hell is a cat lady?
trailer. I mean, you're gonna get like 10 times more. I don't know
Becky.
why it's true, but and Becky, you may be all upset by this, but the fact is, it is true. Put some abs on your next.
And Becky,
put
you
a hot
might be
6-pack of abs on your next trailer for
I'll do
the
that.
interview.
You be careful, Mr.
10 times
Dusty
more
Deadman.
I tell you what we do. The next Deadman's Tome.
What dead abs? I don't know what dead abs look like.
I don't know what dead abs look like either.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. The next Deadman's Tome podcast thumbnail should have like rockin' abs with like a DT like tattoo right there on his abdomen, like right there, like boom, put it right there on the stomach, put it right there.
You remember you asked for this.
I asked for it. Do that. Do that. And watch.
Abs win.
Abs
And
always
I
win.
will never. I
Sweaty
might
abs.
get like clothes, but I will never have abs.
Dude,
I
I'm
don't
not even
care
trying.
if I like diet it.
trying.
If I don't care if I eat like 400
Not even
calories a
trying.
day and worked out every day. I'll
Not
still
even
never
trying.
have abs.
Not even
So
trying.
when I see abs, I'm like, even me, like, and I'm a straight guy, but I'm like, abs are kind of hot.
Not even trying.
You know.
And like it would take too long to
I'm
work
jealous.
through all this,
I'm jealous of
all this
those abs.
beer gut. I had to work months to get through all this beer gut that I have. No, not even trying for abs. You want abs? I don't have that. I have a keg. That's what I have.
I'm still trying for abs, man. I'm 52 years old now. And I'll never get them, but it's like, you know, got to have a goal.
Yep. You gotta have a goal. That's important. I see. We're coming to the end here. What is your favorite horror movie and why? Oh, there's another question.
Oh, my favorite horror movie is The Exorcist. I saw it. You know, I went to. I'm 52, so I was alive when The Exorcist was in the theaters, and my mother was going to see it with her friend, and she put me and her friend's kid in the back seat, and we were gonna go see whatever like was the Power Rangers movie at the time. I can't recall what we were going to see, and we had heard so much about The Exorcist already, like people throwing up in the theater aisle, you know, and stuff. So we were like, "Can we go?" So we totally Bart Simpsoned her. Can we go? 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 You know? And so finally she's like, "Fine. I just don't want to deal with any of your nightmares," right? So we got into The Exorcist. I was 8 years old. I'm sitting there up front. We sat separate from our moms. And you know, it starts off in Iraq. If you've seen The Exorcist, you know, and the guy's like just walking around, this old guy, and the winds are blowing, and he finds some little like tiki statue or whatever that tells him like something's coming and all. I'm like sitting there thinking, this ain't no big deal. Why is everybody like freaking out over this movie? You know? And then the chick got possessed. And I remember staring at the screen like, holy fuck. You know, I was 8 years old, and you're like, I couldn't step away. I was petrified, and I couldn't stop watching. I was horrified, scared, and And, the movie ended, and I had nightmares for years. Like, I would go into my dark bedroom, and I could just see that little evil Reagan sitting in the corner going like, hey, boy. But here's the greatest thing ever. And this is probably good to end on. I have a friend on Facebook named Del Howison. He runs this bookstore in California called Dark Delicacies. Have you heard of that?
No.
Well, it doesn't matter. And of course, it's in California, so he's a lot of celebrities stopping by all the time. And one day I saw that he posted that William Friedkin would be at Dark Delicacies, and he would be signing copies of the new, whatever 30th or 40th anniversary of the Exorcist Blu-ray. And so, and that you could buy it online. So I purchased it online, and I asked in the comments if I could get the director, William Friedkin, who was showing up at that store, to write a personal note to me in his signature. And they did it.
Oh, wow.
So I come home from work one day, and I open up this box from Dark Delicacies, and there's an Exorcist Blu-ray in there, and on the front, written in some kind of silver Sharpie, is Jonathan, sorry for the nightmares, William Friedkin. And I was like, this is my most prized.
Oh, man.
My most prized. I'll send you guys a picture of it so you know what I'm talking about, in Facebook. Yeah. It is my most prized possession in life.
That's pretty cool. That's very cool.
Too cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The rest of The Exorcist sucked. But I did like the TV show they had for a little while, but they canned it. After 2 episodes. But
no, we had one other question. We had one other question in the chat that we looked over. What is your favorite Sega game? And why are you a Sega
game?
Yeah, Sega.
Altered Beast, man.
That is a good game. That's good.
Just Altered Beast. Sega game? Altered Beast.
Altered Beast.
No question.
And
yeah, you would be getting these points and coins, or I can't even remember, and then suddenly, you become this big ass badass because you ate all these coins or whatever, and you could just totally destroy all your competition.
Altered Beast again, very good game, very good.
Oh yeah, and it was in the arcades too. We would get a roll of quarters and go down and play Altered Beast right in the. Remember when they used to have those video games in every little store on the way out? Oh yeah,
I remember that. In my area, especially arcades, the nearest mall, in my area, it had an arcade for a while, but they shut that shit down because it caused a lot of problems or whatever. Kids fighting over stuff or whatever, vandalism.
You know what my favorite video game is ever?
What?
And it was a game back in the asteroids and Space Invaders era, but it wasn't very well known. It was called Star Castle.
Yeah, you got me. I don't know what is Star Castle.
Well, you had this little spaceship surrounded by 3 rings in the middle. And you had to fly around. If you were to Google, if you have an Android phone, you can get Pew's Castle, Pewpew Castle, and that's the same game. And you would fly around outside of this little circle, and you would be shooting at the circles, and then you'd make a hole in the circles, and you'd have to try to shoot this spaceship in the middle.
Pew Castle.
And it was. Yeah, type on. Are you on an Android phone?
I'm on the computer right now. Pew Castle.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking.
Type Star Castle 80s or something like that, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Star Castle 80s.
Star Castle was the actual name that it was on. That was on the. And so you will see probably a little ship.
Okay, this is making.
And
a
it was
more
surrounded
sense
by three concentric rings. And every one of your shots would wipe out like a section of that ring, and you had to try to shoot that effer. But as soon as like all 3 holes lined up, that dude would blast a shot out at you. And I was fascinated with that game. And I never, I got really good at millipede. Remember Centipede and all that stuff? Mm-hmm. I got really good at that. Like I could do a high. If I went to an arcade, I could do a high score.
Okay, yeah, like these old school.
Never.
This was on Atari, or what was it? What platform was it on? Arcade Vectrex.
I never had it on. I don't know who did it. I didn't have it. It wasn't like an Atari 2600 game.
Oh no,
like
it wasn't. It was arcade.
But
or Vectrex.
I could never master this game, and it has haunted me for years. And I still now, if you have the Android phone, they have like a simulator one called Pew Pew's Castle, like I told you. And I'm still like sitting on the subway every day getting pissed off because I still can't master this damn game.
Did you play this at like a home console? Because they had a thing called a Vectrex, which actually had this game, but this console's like really old. Did you have a Vectrex?
No, I until recently, until I got the simulated version on the phone, I only played it like in the drugstore when I was leaving.
Oh, okay.
After school, and it was an actual arcade type thing with the big box and stuff.
Because the Vectrex is like, it's pretty. To me, it seems pretty rare. It's not like when you think about it, people say Atari, to say some other ones, but Vectrex, the vector display-based home video game console. It's not like a Commodore 64 or an Atari. Very interesting.
They make some kind of Atari thing now that like has every game loaded into it.
Yeah,
it's like some little mini thing. It's like $50, and I did buy the Sega Genesis one. And they did have Altered Beast on it. But the problem is, like, I wanted to play with my son, and he was like, "What the fuck is this?"
You mean the brand new?
They don't. Yeah, they were used to Call of Duty, which is like actual dudes fighting with like realistic guns, and everything looks like realistic. And then I try to take them back to Sega, and they're like, "What the?"
Yeah. Wait. Are you talking about the Genesis?
Joe Montana's Talking Football? Do you remember that one?
I do. Are you talking about the Genesis Mini? You guys, is that already out? Is that what you're talking about? That's not what you're talking. Is that what you're talking about?
No, there's like a throwback. If you go to like, I found it at Walmart. They have like the Sega and the Genesis and the Atari, and it's like a little package. And you don't need cartridges anymore because that was the '80s. It's all loaded in there. So they have this tiny little Sega. It's like 5 inches by 6 inches, and it has like the controllers that they used to use and stuff. And every game's loaded on it, so you just pick them.
It's very weird because like there's a bunch of articles and stuff out now saying like Sega Genesis is coming out with their own Genesis Mini to rival that of like the NES Mini, SNES Mini, and it's of course gonna have licensed games and all that. But you're saying you already got like
I don't know. I actually don't know what they're doing because actually PlayStation 1 is now back out again, and it's like $100, and I'm like, you think I'm gonna pay $100 for that shit?
It has a bunch of games loaded on it. Now that's a PSX like mini thing. Sony's trying to copy what Nintendo was doing with its NES and SNES mini stuff, and now Sega's trying to do it, and it's like, man, like. I think Sega might have a chance. The Sony, from what I understand, that thing, it costs way too much, especially for what you get.
Hell yeah. Well, you can get a Sony PS4 for like $299. You want to pay for $100 for a Sony One?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
The only good thing about Sony One, I'm going to be honest with you, is have you ever heard about mod chips?
Mod chips, yes.
Yeah. So I had purchased a mod chip for my Sony, and you had to like open the damn thing up and solder it into the electrical board, and I did that. And then I would just go like to Blockbuster at the time and rent a PS1 game and burn it, with my DVD burner, and then return the game to Blockbuster, and I could play that game forever because the mod chip was fascinating. Like, when you booted a game up in PlayStation, it would say like, okay, here's like a section of the game that is trying to determine whether this is a legit PS2 game, and there would be some code there, like, does it pass the test for a legit game? And the purpose of the mod chip was just to inject, it's real.
That's cool.
And so,
man,
so I had like thousands of games on. Every time I rented a game from Blockbuster, I'd burn it, and the damn burned copy would work with the mod chip.
Man, that's how it is.
These
man.
days, I guess.
I didn't have too much.
Also that was like.
Yeah, I didn't have too much hands-on experience with mod chips. I mean, I had mod chip systems on this and that. It's fun stuff. But man.
Yeah. But nowadays they're like too damn expensive. Like nobody wants to open up a $300 video game and insert a mod chip because odds of you like burning the board or fucking it up somehow is like so high.
Sometimes you don't even need a mod chip. Like the Nintendo systems as of late are so easy to mod. Like all you need is like a software mod. That's all you do. Like the Wii, not the Wii U, but the
Well,
Wii.
you mean the PC games?
Well, no, I'm talking about like Nintendo, like their latest systems, like the Switch and the Wii U and the Wii are pretty easy to mod. They have like these software homebrew mods that you can load onto them. You circumvent the system somehow through its own interface, and you just pretty much get it to where you can put any game you want on there. You can put all the Super Nintendo, NES, GameCube, PlayStation games on there, and you can play them. You can play them in 64 games.
I tell you, that part of PlayStation 4 pisses me off because you remember when they used to sell those CD spindles?
Yeah.
And there's like a little circle with a stick, and you lay all your CDs on it.
Yeah.
I have one of those full with PlayStation 2 games.
Oh,
and the PlayStation 4, I just feel like if those guys weren't assholes, the PlayStation 4 should play all those. It should be backward compatible.
It should be, but they want you to buy the games again,
Yeah, they want you to buy it again.
Yep.
So I've actually bought like 4 or 5 PlayStation 2 games, like that Crash Racing one. I love that one.
Oh, yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Where he's in the cart. Crash. Yeah.
But that's what they want to do, man. They want to make money on games they already sold. They're old. Like, in this state, how drunk I am right now, if I had a PlayStation 4, I'd probably buy, like, Soul Calibur or something. Play some fighting game that I played before on the PlayStation and just watch Tits Jiggle and all that stuff, because that's fighting games for me. Anyway.
You play the horror one? Evil Within and stuff?
Like, when I think of horror games, of course, I think like Resident Evil. But
The Evil Within is pretty good.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, we could go on forever. Hold on. Okay, we got to end this.
You know what game I'm the best at? Like even like my my son, he will destroy me at Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm like, I don't know why he has a bigger spatial memory than me. He can just pop up behind me and kill me before I even notice it and stuff. But no one can beat me at Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And I was never really a skater.
I thought you were going to say Twisted Metal. Game, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I can like just beat anybody at that. Well, I've never met someone that could beat me at that.
Well, I'll take you head on Twisted Metal. Or Twisted Metal 2. I'll probably waste your ass. Okay. This has been a good show. I enjoy this. Man, Jonathan, you need to come on again. We're planning on a 24-hour stream later on this month. Feel free to hop on anytime if you can.
I'd be glad to. It's really fun for me too. I think
get with me later, and I'll
interview I did, and this one is all a little more natural and kind of fun. So I appreciate that.
Very natural, very relaxed. That's what we want to do here on this show. You know, actually talk and enjoy the talk, even if it's about nothing. And this is a little bit about
even it's about my cat.
Hey, you didn't bring up the turd in the urinal story.
Oh, freak! We'll bring that up later. The turd in the urinal story. We're gonna save that. All right, ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Press that like button. Share with someone who needs to hear this. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. We couldn't be here without you. You take it easy.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.